I am recording now. So, Nick, just so you know.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
You know me and opening my big mouth.
That's right. So we're good up until now.
All right. Well, I'm excited about today. Welcome to the Arcfluence podcast, where we talk about how design impacts the way we live, work, and invest. I'm Nick Carrican, your host, and with me today, as usual, is Paul Fatkins.
With you today again. This is our second one today.
I guess if you want to be technical about it, my business partner and co.
Yeah. And not only that, but we have Tabi again with us. She actually was on the podcast. Gosh, I can't even remember at this point. Feels like eons ago, but it was probably only a year or so.
We're knocking these things out.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations, Paul. This is a good commitment we've stuck with.
Yeah. But Tabi, welcome back.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited to be back.
Yeah. We get to talk about some updates from some projects and other fun stuff today. So
so as you all probably remember, the amazing interview with Tabi. She's an interior designer. Her business is evolving just like ours, so we're going to dig into that. We're both getting offices. You have an office.
Congratulations again. Yeah. So
likewise, I can't wait to check out your new space. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're in sort of similar spaces.
You're in your space already. We're knock on wood, like everything should go smoothly to close out, and we still got to sign the final closing stuff.
Paul knocked on his non-wood desk just for
the
record.
Wood.
Oh, is it wood?
Yeah, solid wood.
It's like laminate.
It's covered, but there's wood there, Nick.
Right. So it's going to be okay.
Yeah. All right, particle board.
Paper is also a wood product. Anyway.
Great location, right? I think that's key. I think figuring that out's hard.
Polaris is like huge for us. So it's kind of in the middle of both of us. It's in a hot spot of the city. Like, gosh, when we were looking at this office, how many people reached out to you, like friends, or like, oh, I'm also looking for an office space in Polaris?
5 people.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. What industries?
Construction, wholesaling, interior design.
Okay.
Yeah, like everybody.
Nick was talking with people, and they're just like, "Oh, really? I'm also looking in that location." So,
it's a good place to be when you can like create synergy, right? And those.
Yeah. So we're excited about it, but like I got to come by. Nick was at your office the other day. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah. We'll have an open house in April for sure, and we're going to invite folks out. And
because you are under construction.
Yeah, we are.
So tell us about what you're changing in the space.
So I'm sharing the space with my construction partners, rule of 3. We do, I would say, 80 to 90% of the work that I work on together. And then the other stuff that I personally work on is like furnishing that they obviously wouldn't be involved in. So the space will be shared. We divided the space into 2 bays. One bay is for their storage needs, which they have a lot of storage needs, as you can imagine. And the other bay is a showroom where we're going to host. We designed and are having constructed a coffee bar where we can, welcome guests.
Teas, coffees, parties.
Exactly, 100%. I want people to come in and feel well cared for immediately, because that's exactly what we do. And then we're going to have a conference table and a large TV that we can casting the 3D models. Oh, not on my little
laptop.
The tiny screens. I bring these tiny screens into people's homes, and I'm like, hover around and get the visuals. But having the big screen and being able to show them this is what your house is going to look like, it's going to be a game changer. I think 3D modeling is like my favorite tool. What about you? How often do you guys get to do that piece of it? Because I think it's a big.
I mean, we build in 3D at this point. We don't, so everything Revit.
Everything's in 3D and Revit. Yeah. So like literally everything we do, like if the client wants to see, like we were on a call the other day and the client's like, oh, can you show me a view? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just opened the model real quick and dumped a camera in.
Even the scan data that we have allows us to have a blended reality with the 3D point cloud data and photos.
So what's your favorite? Are you using AI to enhance your models?
So the software that the scanner uses does have an AI piece to it.
But we're not really leveraging it to the fullest extent now.
Yeah.
So we've dabbled a little bit, but I mean, like a lot of the stuff we're doing is not quite to that level yet.
If we're doing like conceptual design, so early on in the phase of schematic, we'll have some. We'll dump all our ideas into AI, and then it'll produce some images and say, are we on the right track here? And then we can base off our process off of that as a starting point. Obviously, we use it for emails and other forms of communication too. We record our meetings, and then we can have summaries of those interactions, conversations. It's documented, so we know what we're actually talking about. So there's not like, but I thought you said, or
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like the office, for example, that we're going into, like I've already leveraged it to come up with some ideas, like things that I want to do. So.
Okay, what are some of your ideas? I want to hear them.
So
We're going to need your help, Tabi.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's
we're
go.
probably going to need someone's help at some point. I know Nick has like some lofty ideas as well. And like I get it. Like when you have a client into a space or even other partners into the space, consultants, like you want to, showcase your work and showcase your stuff. Like it'd be great to have people into the office and have them be like, wow, this is really nice, well put together space, and be like, well, that was our interior design partner, Tabi, who's like we've worked with on a couple of projects, and she helped us, design and curate the office and the materials and the finishes.
So Tabi, I got to ask you.
But my main concern is to get back to what's my idea. You walk into the lobby space before you ask the question.
Yep, you're good.
Keep
Sorry.
it in your head.
My bad.
There's like this horrible storefront area that's like dated, so we need to do something with that. I don't want to like completely demo and rebuild it, but I mean like we need to do some kind of treatment. So anyway, there's things that I'm thinking about where it's like, okay, what's a cost-effective way to spruce this up, right? To put your best foot forward.
I agree.
That's how you build trust, though. Like that feeling that someone gets when they enter your space, and if they feel relaxed, if they feel calm, they're excited about the things that they see. That's how you build that trust.
Well, we're taking out all the old lighting and we're replacing it with, instead of like the old school fluorescent, we're going to do LED. That's diffused lighting. We're going to have it be on smart stuff so we can change the intensities, change the color or the temperature. But we actually have a lobby space, which is really cool. So you walk in, it's an elevator building. We're on the second floor, and you walk into this room, and normally there would be like a desk and somebody there, like an office manager. But we're going to be, business is changing.
Sure.
So this is going to be a beautiful, you're going to walk in, the first thing you're seeing is this beautiful, curated, comfy living room hangout space that has beautiful decorations, a picture frame TV that's going to have our logo on it that we can also then turn on for presentations. If we want to be in a comfortable setting, we'll also have a conference room we'll be able to present it to, but that'll be more formal. Just to have a little bit of flexibility, that first impression. Obviously, we'll have, you can go to the left, there's a large 1,000 square foot open office area. You go to the right, there's a smaller open office area with 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, and a conference room. So we're excited to really put our final touch on it.
Lighting is so key. I think it gets overlooked so frequently. Everyone in our office space, so I've been going there to work, even though it's a little bit in construction. I'm still going there, and I'm using our conference table, and I'm enjoying the space and like working there. People keep trying to flip on the overhead lights, and I'm like, please stop it. Like, we're gonna have lamps and candles, and we're gonna there's an emergency light that's always on, but like there's light there's daylight that enters the space.
Yep.
Like we're not performing a surgery here. We're not I don't need that.
It stimulates better conversation, right?
Yeah,
Yes. It makes you feel comfortable so you can have real conversations.
Relaxed.
When we had Cameron Mitchell on, one of the number one things for them was lighting in their space. So, but yeah, like when we were walking, when we did the inspection phase, part of the due diligence, we were walking through the office, and I'm just like looking up, and like lights are flickering. They're like different. The bulbs are like different colors, and I'm just like, man, this is a nightmare. Like this is literally a nightmare. And I like pitched to Nick, like, yeah, we need to spend a couple $100 a fixture and get like these really nice, like indirect lighting.
There's a lot of fixtures. Yeah. There's probably 20 some.
100%.
It's worth it.
It's gonna be worth it. Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
And Nick's like, do you really want to control the color and I'm like, yes. And the intensity.
I mean, I didn't actually say that. I said, yeah, it's just going to cost X amount of dollars. We're probably going to have to do a larger renovation a year from now to really like bring it all together.
I'm just, you can use this hack and just like not turn them on and have floor lamps and table lamps. And like, just even as a temporary, that's what we're doing this. Like, okay. I'm going to have rechargeable lamps I can kind of carry around like a torch.
Oh. So tell us about your space.
Okay.
What changes are you making? Because you're renovating. I mean, there's construction going on.
We put in a big wall. Inside that wall is going to be an alcove material bank. The material library I'm very excited about right now. Finding things is we've outgrown a lot of our processes. My business has outgrown me essentially, and so within that, are just like systems that are broken.
I understand.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good, but it's not as fun as I thought it would be. I think that's the biggest key. So we're going to have a beautiful material library. We'll have office space and, this area we can entertain, sort of a lounge area. I'm also interested about hoarding vintage. We're going to start. I think that manufacturing is such a question mark for changes globally. I'm curious. I feel like in the market of furniture right now, there's a ton of low end and there's a ton of at the tippy top high end.
Yeah.
And I feel like that mid-grade product is really hard to find and to know that it's going to perform well. But I feel like vintage kind of fills that gap. And also we're getting to reuse things. So like I've always sold vintage carpets. I have a nice collection right now.
I have a couple in my house from you.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, once you get those kind of products, you understand the value of the craftsmanship, and then also the idea that we can reuse really good things that were made, well.
It's also, it gives us it layers, right? It's
storied.
It just has an existence. It has a reality or essence that just brings a space to life.
The hard thing about the design world today is that we all can see everything that's happening online, and we're sort of all programmed to like the same things. But if you are collecting, you can create spaces that are authentic, layered, and storied, and it won't look like your friend's house. Not that
that's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing,
but it can be personal. It can be deeper, more meaningful.
You can also,
I mean, like having that unique character, I think, is always like an important thing to layer into to everything that you just mentioned. Because again, like, if you show up to your buddy's house and they have the exact same sofa from IKEA, right? What makes it special?
I love that sofa.
Yeah.
But if you have a vintage rug, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, where did you get that?" I'm like, "Well, I can't tell you."
No, tell everyone. You have to tell everyone.
But it's like limited supply. It's like for me, like I always go to like car stuff, automobile stuff. So it's like, again, like if they only made 2,000 cars and it was 30 years ago, how many are still on the road today? It's like to have like a limited run, and then you only have like a certain number that is still available, and then like, great, I have one, I get to use it. Right. So the same thing with a rug or vintage piece of furniture or whatever it is. There might be the only one in like the area that you have, and it's yours.
And honestly, when we're investing in higher quality products, handmade products,
right,
they're going to last longer too. So I'm thinking, yes, at my stage in my life, money is still something that we need to think about and worry about, but the life cycle of something is also more has taken priority too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the craftsmanship is just very different then to now. So even 20 years ago, like there's a difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Huge.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about having that space and being able to talk to people about sustainability, about history, about authenticity, helping people think about not only layering and things that will help them find, but also thinking about when you travel, what pieces are you going to look for? Like, how can we coach people on how to create more of this narrative for themselves while getting them started with high quality vintage pieces. So I think we have space for it. I'm really excited about the collecting part.
You should have your own TV show, like the American Pickers TV show. Do you know what I'm talking about? They just go seeking out all the, No,
I like, for real, that is a huge component of what I'm creating right now is my own playground.
But that's why I love that show, because they find like such unique, odd things that like you're like, wow, I've never seen something like that before.
It's like I could be a freelancer and make an income that I want. I did a lot of sort of number crunching, and it's like, well, why are you building a team, and what's the point? And my husband even just asked me, he was like, when will it be enough? When are you going to be done? And it's like, I'm building opportunities for the playground that I want to play in, which has to do with collecting, which has to do with traveling. I think a bigger, broader goal for the next few years would be to do some international trips, find interesting products, layer them into our projects.
Yep. And the cool thing is we can show clients something, but there's nothing that can replace them actually seeing it in person and physically touching it.
Yeah, and I think like the arts and crafts, Art Nouveau movements that happened when there was a technology surge, we're seeing similar interest in sort of like handmade, thoughtfully crafted pieces. We want to connect more with each other because I feel like we feel disconnected. And there's a way to do that with things that are made differently.
Yeah, and I would agree with you, Nick. That's the only downside to living in the digital world that we live in, right? There's a lack of the haptic. You can't touch and feel it, right? You can see it, But the experience is different when it's in front of you and you can actually pick it up and,
I would also
interact with it.
I would also say, and we brought this up in past podcasts, but you've gotten so good, our team has gotten so good doing photorealistic renderings that we show our clients these beautiful images and they're like, I want this. This is absolutely. And then contractor goes to build it and we have to stay within a budget. So wait a minute, the light wasn't, in our renderings, the light is perfect.
Right.
The color, the warmth is perfect. But it might be an overcast day in Ohio and I'm like, this isn't showing up exactly like the renderings were. What's going on here?
Well, similar how you can make AI make you look better than you look in real life, right? We've all seen this. I worry about people trying to fabricate these fantasies, like spaces where, I hesitate to some degree of how these images get generated. I'm excited for clients to use AI to create inspiration images, but they have to realize that there's a gap between the logistics and the reality of what it takes to create that.
I think that's why we're in the camp of it's a starting point, and we use it early on, and we never really use it like throughout the whole process, and we're definitely not using it at the end of the process either.
Totally get that, because it's not real. You know what I mean? What we want to create is something that's real. There's so many other ways to create.
Fabricated would be a great way to, because you can pick anything and make it look any way you want, and the time of day and the lighting outside could change how that looks.
I also think that we're inundated with a lot of luxury, and I think that sometimes these images that people are able to create into things that they see, it's hard for them to separate images of wild luxury versus what they actually value and need in their day-to-day life.
Do you this is showing Taj Mahal select piece court site, and in our rendering and in my kitchen, and but we're only the contractor has budgeted grade 1
100%.
granite or something, right?
Yeah, logistics are the thing that is difficult to undo yourself if you are trying to tackle a project without a professional. And I think that that's the gap that we fill. Like, we are consultants. I think when I filled out your little form, I put myself in as design Sherpa, because I want to try to communicate to people that we are advocates and consultants for everything that they care about, which also includes their budgets, how it works, and all the other things.
We have to consider that, right? Because as designers, we want things realized. Otherwise, why are we doing this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't enjoy sort of like conversations that are fantasies or fabrications. I really want to talk, brass tacks about how we do a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll have to, as soon as we're into the space, we'll have to have you come and take a look, and then we need your thoughts on some things for sure.
I'm never short of thoughts.
we're gonna be leaning on you some for sure.
Can't wait.
And you need to rein Nick in, because he's like already
Impossible.
He has these grandiose.
I don't think that's a real thing.
I'm not changing, Paul.
He has these grandiose ideas.
I know. It's
Listen,
gonna be fun.
it can be good. It can be good in a really nice space to where you walk in and you're just like knocked off your feet. But we don't have to like spend so much either. He's good at that. He's good at spending money.
Sure.
There's a table I want. It's a conference room table, solid black walnut. It also happens to be the perfect size of a regulation ping pong table. So it's this beautiful solid wood table, but then we can also throw a net on there and we can play some ping pong.
How often do you play ping pong?
I play once a week.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Are you in a league?
No, but I have
Is there a league?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Point is, he's going to play more if he has this table. He's going to play more. I mean, Nick, there's a table. There's a office desk from an Italian designer I'd love to have, but it's like $10,000. So
But is it that important to you? I think there's like that way of
He's nodding. So
Okay.
yeah, it is.
Okay, well then make it happen, right?
The alternative is we buy a ping pong table that for pennies, because this table is probably $6,000 that I want $6,000-7,000
How long are you gonna have it?
forever.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's solid. It looks beautiful. It's a conference room table. So during the day we'll have conference room chairs around it. It'll function just like a conference room table. But the alternative is buy a different conference room table that's probably a little bit less expensive. And then we buy a ping pong table that's probably $600 or $700, something like that. We roll it into the closet and bring it out when we use it. We can do that too. There's options.
We went through this exercise, rule of 3 and I, on sort of like what do we need and what does the space have to do. So I think of budgets in two camps. One is, this is what I want. What does it cost to get there? Most people that I work with don't operate from that viewpoint. Sometimes they do. Like, this is what I want. And I think I would say 20 to 30% of our clients are in that camp. And the other way to look at a budget is, this is what I have. What can I do with it? You know what I mean? Sometimes you sort of cross these two like philosophies.
I think, there's a compromise there where we end up typically, but...
See, already this conversation is going in the right direction.
I like having a big number. And I tell people all the time, like, I don't make more or less money if you spend more money. Like, that isn't how I get, our fees are our fees, and it's really for our ideas and our time.
Yeah.
And how you want to use that.
Yeah. But this is already better than the conversation the other day with Nick.
It's going to be exciting to see the new space. It sounds like very large. You guys are going to have so much room to grow.
Yeah, it's 2250.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and even for the first year, we're leasing out the 1,000 square foot side office space.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we already have a lease that's basically on the table for it.
Can I ask you guys about being small business owners? So I just took a small business course. Do you know the Goldman Sachs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw that.
So when my business outgrew me, I didn't realize what was going on because I didn't go to business school or any of those things, and I have no tools for that sort of like building a team. The class was really clarifying for me. How would you rate yourselves on the small business aspect of like team building, and like what is your biggest challenge? I think it's so fascinating because once I realized that it was just a puzzle, and I love puzzles, which is one reason I love design work.
Yeah.
It got to be less intimidating for me, and I could sort of identify my goals better. But I think it's fascinating to be in a period of growth and extreme fast growth, which I think we both are, because we do. I mean, we do great work, and we get clients who talk. Anyway, it's a good place to be, but it's also not always the most. There's aspects of it that are
It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the planning aspect of that and setting expectations to your team and your clients are key.
Yeah.
It's difficult too, because I mean, honestly, like you have to get to the point where it's triggered, because it could be like, like the sink is filling up with water and maybe it's starting to flow over the edge. Right. and like, that's the point where unfortunately you're not really like bringing on additional people to help you with that problem. You're just kind of managing and dealing, and it's like triage at that point. And again, you're setting expectations to a certain point. But when it's like a full on, your basement has like 4 feet of water in it, then that's the point where it
wet
triggers.
Wet bandits.
Yeah.
Home Alone. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm trying to come up with an analogy, because I think like, you kind of, projects ebb and flow, things ebb and flow, right? There's periods where you're busier, periods where you're not as busy.
But the trajectory is still quite
It's
steep.
still overall up, but I mean, like, you still have to get to the point where it triggers the need to then bring somebody on.
Right.
Bringing somebody on or building a team is less of a concern for me. For me as a, whatever business owner, is
that's
more,
what you are, yes.
Yeah, is more concerning getting to the point where that gets triggered. Right.
Okay.
Because if I bring somebody on, I don't want to bring them on for a few months to help out.
Not.
I want them long-term committed for years on the team.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be a part of the family. Like that's the culture that I want to bring them in, and we're working together. It's a team effort.
Yeah. We want to groom and potentially bring in the best.
Yeah.
So to junior partner and things of that nature.
That's what I worry about, right? That moment to trigger that, so that we can stay committed to them. Because on my side, it's a commitment as well as for them coming in.
Most definitely. I think of it as like lifting something that I couldn't lift by myself, that all of us are required to lift. You know what I mean? Like, I think the team aspect of like,
good analogy as well. Yeah.
Like the last 3 years have been really clarifying in the sense that this is a team sport in a variety of ways. Like, I don't build things. Like, I'm not an architect. You know what I mean? There's all these elements and parts and pieces where you have to have those strong partners. And inside of our team and our operations, it's a very similar story. You know what I mean? Like,
So the way we're navigating it now, besides hiring employees, is we lean into our engineering partners, our contractor partners. We have some 1099 contractors that help us with design work that are, remote. We have a fractional CFO that helps us with budgets, forecasting, this, that. We have a chief digital officer that helps us. Believe it or not, even when you're doing socials and marketing, and it really overlaps into sales. We're interviewing for an executive assistant to help with proposals, invoices, the admin load. There's a lot of parts and pieces that we need.
yeah.
That are moving in the same direction so that we can lift this thing together.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I think it's just hard to judge when you pull the trigger, but I think like, it's kind of like, when sort of thing. like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you use the analogy about picking something up that's heavy. I use the analogy about the wet bandits, apparently. But like, the point is, like, you realize at some point, like, I need help.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's, then it's just like, for me, it's not about seeking that person out. That part is easy. It's just, for me, the concern is when that happens.
I think the type of skill set that you're looking for is also super key. Like administrative help is someone that we recently just brought in, and I'm just like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
why didn't I do this 5 years ago?
Yeah, because there's so many different elements. You just talked about like sales and marketing, and the administrative side of what we do is pretty complicated in the way that we ordering, making sure all of our files are up to date and accurate. I mean, you don't, the joke online is like, I'm working off of drawing 3 and it's really drawing 6, and like all the sub trades are trying, you want to make sure that all of that is organized, and gets in the right hands.
Even team communications and
Yes.
client communications and
because there's such dense workflows. I think that's really hard to explain to people when they're trying to hire somebody or they're trying to find a partner to do the thing that they want. It's like, well, aren't these just ideas? Couldn't you just like sort of like shoot 3 ideas at me in an afternoon and then I'll be done? And it's like the logistics side of what we do is so dense. It's who's doing it, what does it cost, what is their schedule, what is the material made out of? How big is it? Do they have the drawings, or do they have the capacity to build the thing that we've drawn? Or it's challenging in a really exciting way if you're someone like me. You know what I mean? Like, I think in solving those problems.
because you're super creative, right? So you want to work on the thing without having necessarily and you're trying to tiptoe around like building a company, but at the same time you're realizing now that that's taking more of your time.
Yeah,
is
not
building
my jam.
So you want to actually go get back to design. So there's like this growth period where you're like, you have to still understand what it takes. You have to put those things into place, and then you can then start putting yourself back into the areas of genius that you thrive in.
I just want to have a nice time. And we did bring in an administrative, and I haven't told her that she's my boss, but like, I'm like, she's going to be our boss. And like, I keep trying to, when we have conversations and dialogues, I'm like, you're the leader of us. And we want to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah. So now, Tabi, last time we talked, again, it feels like a long time ago. It's probably 2 years ago.
We can look it up. Danny,
Wild.
let's put a link to that past episode.
So I'm curious, like, I know I don't think we had 222 at that point.
No.
But I think we had the Westerville house, which is still carrying on. It's like almost to the point of wrapping up.
Yeah, but
right?
when I stepped in and saw that kitchen.
What did you think? Was your jaw on the floor?
Yes,
Of
and I was just
course.
like, I'm like,
I wanted to reach out and touch everything.
These are my countertops. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
a good choice. Just the essence of luxury and
Sure.
natural light and function, utility, beauty, the woodwork, the cabinetry, like just stunning. Everything is just lovely.
It was
everything paneled, like everything hidden. Like,
Yes.
oh, this is a dishwasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, since we designed it, we knew where everything was. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like, this is lovely.
Yeah.
That was such a fascinating project, and you guys brought me in on that project to be in the middle of sort of.
Oh, it was so much. There's no way we could have done it. I mean, there's no way. It was a lot. It was a lot that was needed for it, and we knew like we're going to need Tabi to do the interior design on this.
Well, not only that, but we ended up hiring another. The rule of 3 came in and saved the day too.
Yeah.
So this was complicated.
Yeah. Super complicated, and it was such a joy and a gift to work with clients that have such a vision for where they want it to go. You know what I mean? I think that he is a creative. He can see it. And so like trying to pull out from his head the thing that being able to see it and even being able to create like a rendering, and then also being able to translate that into dollars and cents, and again, the logistics side of it is challenging. He actually connected us with with our favorite cabinet vendor.
Yeah.
So it's like building, and then also getting those different relationships where we can carry on. And I think we've done, I don't know, 6 to 10 projects with him. I'm trying to think of how much we've done with him since we met him. But it's great.
And there's another potential now in Cincinnati, and so
222. So that was like, I guess technically my 3rd retail space, but the other 2.
Well, in that one, did you bring us in?
Yes.
I can't remember,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So like initially that was...
Which is great,
that
right?
was your client.
Yes.
And then you're like, hey, guys, can you come help with the architectural side?
and I love that client so much. It's such a fun interaction and relationship because I'm like, I see a little bit of me in you, and I like how you're just so direct. I'm like, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. You get so close to your clients because what you're doing is often pretty intimate. You're talking about their dreams, you're talking about their family, you're talking about how they live day to day.
We should have him on at some point.
We will.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
That would be a hysterical podcast.
I want to go and be a fly on the wall.
We can have another once we're in the office. We'll have everything set up. We'll have him come in and we'll have you back, and then everyone can talk out in the open.
Yeah. I would love to hear his perspective on the process, because I think that construction is such an animal. It is such a wild beast, and getting ideas on paper into the real, it's like a birth. You know what I mean? Like, it really is.
I don't know what you mean, but please tell me.
I think that I do tell clients this, especially if they've had children, women that have had children. I'm like, you're going to experience something similar to childbirth in the sense that you're going to hate it and it's going to be miserable. And then at the end of it, you're going to have this beautiful baby thing, and you're never going to care about the painful part again. And you'd say, I'd probably do that again.
Clip that. I've never heard it described that way before, but I absolutely love it. Like, wow.
It's not fun. Yeah. Construction's not fun.
Yeah. I mean, you've told something similar to clients all the time, right? It's like some clients are like, oh, I'm going to live here while this is going on. And Nick's just like, you see the grimace on his face. Like, I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, your perception of me will be better if you are not here during construction.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And the guys often, at least the crew that we work with the most, they try really hard if someone is living there to be really conscientious of their materials. And so they'll take time to straighten up and clean, which means time lost every day, where they're trying to sort of straighten up, and you're paying for that delay. It's in the discomfort of just having people in and out, machinery, all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't do it.
I think you're right. Like, the way you described it is spot on. It's a very painful process. There's a lot of unknowns that go into it, right? That you kind of discover along the way. Like, even you mentioned the childbirth thing. I remember when my wife was in labor, they like attached some heart monitor to her, and then all of a sudden, like, some wire came loose, and it was like this, like, everybody comes rushing in, and we were like sleeping and like got woken up like while we were waiting for her to get to the point that where she was going to deliver the baby, and it was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So like,
you don't understand. You don't understand everything.
Yeah, things happen, then all of a sudden it's like you have to like figure out what's going on, and then everything's okay, and and then everything calms down, and then everything gets back on track.
And that's why we have that's why we build that relationship, because we need to be able to feel comfortable with all these communications when we have a hiccup, when we do need to make a decision faster than later, because if we don't, it's going to delay something a month. Like, if we can't make a decision, this 3-day decision could cost us a month if we don't decide within 3 days.
And we do our best to help people avoid I've worked in different ways throughout the last 4 or 5 years, where like sometimes we'll get in the middle. We've done like design build in the same motion, and I don't think it's super abnormal in the industry, but I don't think it's personally, I don't do it anymore, and I don't recommend it, because it creates so much stress and pressure on people to make decisions. Whereas if we can control all of the things that we know about and all the decisions that we know about, there will be things that come up,
and it's it's such an emotional thing for especially for the client and the owner of the property. I mean, like, you're heavily invested into something, emotionally. Not just financially.
But financially.
Yeah. Right. I mean, like, of course, everybody knows it costs something to get stuff done. But, like, the emotion side of it. So, like, even, like, the smallest thing, which is not that big of a deal. That's why I mentioned, like, the little cable that came loose during that whole... So, like, it was, like, this huge thing at the moment. Everyone comes rushing in. It's like, oh, what's going on? So, it's, like, the same thing. Like, the clients can be very emotionally, tied to these projects. And something so small... they might just overreact to it. And it's like, okay, calm down, take a step back, take a breath. Like, let's figure it out. And there's a path forward here,
And the other reason I like that childbirth analogy is when I was having my daughter, the nurse came in and she's like, you'll never remember this pain. And that's how our bodies are created to sort of like, how you can like hit your shin and you remember it? You really can't recall the pain of childbirth, which is kind of fascinating. But similar with renovations, once you're done, you won't care that it was not comfortable. Mostly, you'll be like, I love my new house. I love my new space. It's like wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you're Nick talking to me, every project he's done.
Did you live through a lot of them?
I've had to like co-share his pain because he describes it to me. So I've gotten a good taste for it.
But is it as miserable once it's over for you?
Well, once it's over, it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You don't care.
That's why I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But you're right. When I'm always in a project. So I have a land development project going on right now. So whenever we have a challenge,
Let's not talk about that. He just created some trauma for me right there.
You see my face? I'm already
I can't wait to check it out.
It's going well.
Cool.
And stressful.
Yeah.
Going well. Okay.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
What's the hardest part in terms of the construction part where you are like, I want to hear the best, like the best and the worst. So you've drawn something and you've modeled it and you've thought about it and you've like planned it, and then you walk into the space and there are things that maybe are like, for example, 222, there were changes that were made on the fly, not on the fly really, but like in mid construction.
Surprisingly enough, that happens.
But
50%.
But is it exciting? Are you like, look at this other, like someone has taken the ball and they've like done this other thing. Maybe the clients
depends if we're behind schedule or not. And it depends if the quality that we're seeing is good.
It depends on, so it really depends, because it could be a change for the better or a change for the worse.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And in 222's case, like for the most part, it's very similar to what was, drawn up and discussed and worked through from the original to what's there now.
Yeah.
So it's not drastically different. And any of the changes are small enough that it's not like an overall impact sort of thing. And it's like some of them are actually probably for the better. So it depends. But some you walk in and you're like, what the heck is going on there?
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a control freak and sometimes you lose, depending on the contracting partners that I've worked with, like with Rule of 3, the communication is again like so seamless. I know what's going on pretty much all the time. But if the client hires me and they get a different contractor and they cut us out of the loop as construction starts, and then the things change, it's like a little bit of a gut punch for me.
And that's why
I don't love that.
We encourage our clients to bring in their contractor if they've chosen one towards the end of our, or actually towards the middle of our process, because certain means and methods are important to the contractor, and there's usually a few different ways to build something. So we want to accommodate that preference to keep their costs down and keep the relationship strong so that we can keep that dialogue open should there be anything that we need to discuss.
I try to not let it bother me though, because at the end of the day, if the project is realized, like that's the number one thing that
Most
I care
definitely.
about. So if they're doing it and it makes them happy, okay, like it's kind of like I just let it go.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, secretly there's probably a little bit of like, I don't know why you did it this way, but okay, like it's your space that you're going to be in, and if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. Go with it.
I think as a designer, our studio...
I mean, there's times where Nick butts head with clients where it's like, why would you do that sort of thing?
No.
I mean, but it's like
I'm too honest.
But listen,
but
no.
But I'm good.
Let me finish my thought. But it's in a way where you're coming at it. It's like, listen, I've seen it 10 different ways, right? And there's reasons why you would do it this way or that way. And let me explain to you, my thoughts and my perspectives and give you what I'm thinking so that you have some ammunition here to make a decision.
Sure.
Right. Versus like, just because you want it sort of thing. Like a lot of times, like you hear that from the client, well, I want it this way. Okay. But why? Why do you want it this way? So there's a conversation that happens, and it's from a place of caring. It's not like questioning what the hell are you doing sort of thing.
It's a little of both, but you're right. I try to approach it with I do care because I want you to be happy when we do this.
Definitely.
And I want to bring the most value to your project, the most function to your project, and the most beauty to your project.
Agreed. I think as a studio, we're incredibly collaborative, and that's something I take a lot of pride in. If you look at our projects, they're varied in a lot of different ways because our clients are different people, and we really think authenticity is super important. So it's not like we try to override people's opinions so much as I just like to be in the loop. And I feel like occasionally other contractors have led clients astray on different details and or let them pick vendors who build things in a way that isn't clear. And then you end up with results that you don't love as much.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think if you're disconnected from once they get into the construction phase, I think you just have to like swallow that pill sometimes, Tabi.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You'll just have to get more comfortable with that.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing more work with the contractors that I love. Yeah.
Tell your admin to take care of it, boss.
Yeah. Yes. That's so weird.
Or make sure the partners that do good work are in there that communicate well and so forth.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I hired her to be my boss. I don't want to be a boss. I just want to play.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. She is. Yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
Fun.
But yeah, I think for the most part, 222 turned out really nice. I mean, I know it's not quite done yet and still in progress. But I mean, like from what I saw, there was nothing there that was like, what's going on? Like it was all pretty
love
well
the
thought
space.
out, pretty well thought out, pretty well put together.
Yeah.
Even the little changes. You know.
Do you want? I'm thrilled with how it all came together. Do you, in your like future jobs, do you want to do more commercial or more residential, or do you want to have a mix of both?
Still a mix, but probably a little more commercial.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's where you're headed.
By the way, I was the one thing I was slightly sad about was the terracotta screen wall.
Same. Yeah, same.
When that wasn't there, I was kind of like,
Yep, agreed. I mentioned that when we were on site.
Yeah, the samples in my office, I look at it every day, and I'm just like, someday we're gonna find a home for you.
But regarding our workload, like I think we want to move more towards custom, high-end residential.
Really?
And have more commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you're doing commercial development, you're really starting to impact the skyline. You're like when I'm driving through my beautiful city of Columbus, I can see sites that we've did and like, we designed that. We're changing the way the perception is as we navigate through our home. You know?
Isn't Columbus a wonderful place to be for small business?
I'm really curious about next steps. Let's do two things.
Okay.
What's next step for this amazing collaboration and space that you're creating? And then what advice would you give to small business owners on creating that culture? Because you're literally going through it right now as we were talking about, like what would be your best advice on that?
So the space that we're creating, I think that I'm excited again, and I'm going to keep saying it, playground. It is my playground, but I think that we're going to host events. That's going to be one of the most exciting things. We're going to have clients out there. We're going to be able to find the materials that we have stored in boxes, historically, and had, it's going to be the organization and the team communication is going to be so much better, and our client experience is going to be huge. That's definitely a huge part of it. But the other thing that I'm interested in is like community building.
Yes.
And like bringing people into the space, not only in our industry and kind of creating like networking events or whatever, but also like having artists come in and do talks, talking to trades. There's an amazing metal fabricating company that I really love, all female. I'm excited about talking to, woodworkers and like having them come in. And then on top of that, I would love to host creativity classes, because I think that creativity gets sold as a commodity when it's really a muscle. And some people just like using it more than others. And I think it'd be fun to bring in people of all different backgrounds and talk to them about how to be more creative and do exercises to sort of improve that for them.
Yeah, like
Nino would love something like that.
Exactly.
He would be like, "Oh, let me lead a how to sketch class."
Yeah, it can be 1,000 things, and it really doesn't have to produce anything. I think that's one of the commodifications of creativity that's become part of the myth of it. It's just about using your brain in a way that enhances your day to day.
Doing the thing, like if you want to be healthy, you got to work out and eat right.
100%. You don't go to the gym so that you can become an Olympian.
Right.
And you don't have to make things to become an artist. You just need to use it. So that's definitely something I'm excited about figuring out. In terms of, so tell me again the question about advice for small businesses.
Yeah, since you're going through the process of creating this culture and this community, what advice would you give for someone who's doing this for the first time, as we are as well?
Are you trying to Tabi, let me peek over at your list of things?
Of course. I mean, part of the reason we interview people is because we're curious about what the processes that they're going through and what they're doing, because we're going through the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we're both going into a new office space, for example, at the same time.
Yeah. I think that...
Is that scary at all? Like the fact that you're moving into a space? Or I guess you already kind of are in the space, right?
It's very scary. It's all been really scary. It's been scary to bring in more folks. You know what I mean? And without the class that I took last fall, I would have just carried on sort of like struggling through it. But I think realizing, it's terrifying. But I think that the only way, it's like what a goldfish grow as big as their enclosures.
Container.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the goldfish is out
Same
touching all the walls. You know what I mean?
Humans.
Yeah. Like if it's going to die. The concept is going to die, and we're going to have problem, or it has to grow, and you have to make room for it. So that's, I think that particularly as an individual, I have what I call like square hole, round peg problem, whereas I don't fit into a lot of environments naturally. So I have to kind of create them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of advice I would give for people. Like if you can get away with it, work for someone else and have a nice time. But if you can't achieve that goal, like I couldn't, you're going to have to build your own thing. And it's the only way forward.
I resonate 1,000% with that. That is beautiful. And my whole life I worked for Google, and I even, let's be honest, I knew that I was not meant to have a job. I needed to create my own thing. and I've been doing side hustles for 20 plus years.
It's weird too, because he was in the Air Force, which you would think like the rigid structure would like it's probably tough for you there too, a little bit.
The Air Force was great for me. I was also 19 years old.
Sure.
So like when you're young, you're a little bit more malleable. And it was wonderful for me. A great experience, and I'm so glad I did that. You didn't have like
the authority issue or anything like that? You were like falling in line with the structure?
I had my issues.
Okay. Because to me, if you're working for somebody, like, again, like there's people above you that are, giving you whatever. It's, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think that that's part of the issue of working for somebody else. You don't control your own destiny, right?
I have to define how a thing gets done for me to want to be able to do it well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, it's hard.
Yeah. You're coloring the way somebody tells you to color. You're not coloring the way you want to.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to figure that out.
That's why I was asking about the military, because obviously the military is pretty strict in terms of structure and authority and levels of command, chain of command.
Just from my perspective, the military actually has a lot of rigidity in terms of taking orders, but it also gives opportunity to lead. So it's kind of a double, there's a two-pronged benefit there. Whereas, yes, I'm going to fall in line with these values and ideas, integrity, but I'm also now given the opportunity, throw you in the deep end. Can you lead 60 young men in this activity to accomplish a single goal for the benefit of the team, right? So it allowed me to kind of, grow as a young person and figure out, what I'm good at, what I want to do, and kind of open my mind to new opportunities.
I never really asked you about that before, so I was curious.
Yeah.
But
great experience.
It's a good answer.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're over. Tabi, we loved having you on the show. We're going to end it here. And with that, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
This has been the Arcfluence podcast. As always, you can get more information and additional content on arcfluence.com. Please subscribe on the platform of your choice and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you.